Hi, folks. Welcome to the Ferrum Coaches Show. I'm your host, Gary Holden, this morning. Dave Newcomb, our normal host, could not be with us here today. And our guest on the show is head wrestling coach Nate Yetzer. Nate, welcome to the show.
Hey, Gary. Thanks.
You guys are having a great season. Your year is just about done now. We're heading up to Roanoke this weekend for the East Regional. Talk a little bit about the process, about how Ferrum was awarded the East Regional this year.
Well, up till I think January or whenever, I think we went up to Washington Lee to wrestle them.
Back in November?
Yep. We talked to the head coach there who at the time, or is the NCAA committee, and he expressed, kind of worry that we still hadn't had a regional set yet, and nobody put a bid in. So, obviously, you and I talked to him, and you threw out the idea that maybe we should host it, and obviously did a lot of legwork, but I think we put a bid in, and it took a little while, but I had to put a bunch of numbers together, but it's going to work out really well. So
there are 19 teams in the region.
Right.
Okay. Ferrum was the only one that put the bid in. We were awarded the bid back in January, probably the end of January. We finally got official word, so we've had about a month to get ready. What's your take on it? Are things ready? Are we ready to go with the Civic Center?
I feel like they are. I feel like all we got to do now is the seating meeting, which turned out to be a big pain. But everything else is, I think we're ready to go. It should be a great event and a great setup for nationals.
Sure.
I think it's a very similar setup as nationals, same arena kind of thing. So
what we're talking about, folks, is the NCAA Division III East Regional. There are 6 regionals around the country. And each regional has a certain number of teams in it. Every regional gets 3 wrestlers per weight class into the NCAA tournament. So it'll be 30 wrestlers coming out of each regional, so 180 wrestlers total. So you got to go top 3 in this tournament. It's being held on Sunday, March 1st. At the East Regional is being held at the Roanoke Civic Center. Correction, the Berglund Center in Roanoke. It used to be the Roanoke Civic Center.
Right.
And what time does wrestling start on Sunday?
We start at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. and tickets are really cheap. I think they're like
$8,
$8 or $10. Yes,
$8. Yep.
So tickets are really cheap. I mean, it's a great event. It's gonna be a great event. A lot of the teams bring their whole team down, so there's gonna be a pretty big crowd and people really get into it. So it's gonna be awesome. The finals start at 6 p.m., which will be a lot of fun, and especially the 3rd and 4th place matches because the winner of that goes to nationals and the loser stays home. So. A lot of pressure on those.
Well, we have a special surprise for the fans that'll be there, and the fans that can't make it. We're going to be streaming the final round. The final round will be in the center mat will be 1st and 2nd place. One mat to the right will be the 3rd and 4th place matches, and a mat to the left will be the 5th and 6th place matches.
Right.
And we're going to go ahead and stream those matches, specifically the 1st and 2nd and the 3rd and 4th, because 1st and 2nd are pretty exciting to see who's going to be champion, but 3rd place is pretty big because that person just wrestles himself into the NCAA tournament. Max Harper, who is a student at Ferrum College, is going to be setting up 3 cameras for us. We're going to be able to do some post-game interviews. We got some coaches from Franklin County High School that are going to be helping run down the wrestlers, bring them over for post-game match interviews. We think it'll be real nice. We're going to take a lot of photos, do some YouTube interviews. We think it's going to be a great atmosphere for the fans. The Berglund Center is just a beautiful facility. Holds, I think, 10,000. Probably a little bit bigger than what we needed fan-wise, but plenty of seats. There's no doubt about it. I don't think anybody has to worry about ordering tickets in advance or anything. So.
They can if they want. But
Tell me a little bit about Ferrum. Talk a little bit about what you feel like, where you feel we're strong, where you think we could have a good chance of getting guys pushed through to the NCAA tournament.
Well, I think we're peaking at the right time. I think our guys are finally, for the most part, we got a couple guys out with injury. They're not going to be able to wrestle, but for the most part, most of our guys are 100% ready to go. And I think last year this was probably our best tournament all year last year, and
3 guys placed for you last year.
Right. 3 guys placed, all freshmen. So this year, I think, we got a little more experience now. We have about 5 or 6 guys who have been here before, so I think they know what to expect. I just think this whole last 2 weeks we've been training really hard, and they're doing a great job and great attitudes. So I think I'm really excited to go out there. This is the fun part of the year. If you can't get excited about this time of year, then, you probably should get out of the sport. So,
well, as a coach and a wrestler, this is it right here. This is peak time, and it's time to strap up that headgear on extra tight and get in there and go after it.
Absolutely. I mean, we treat it as no different from any other tournament. But you'll make sure we
train the same way.
Yeah, make sure you express to the guys. Just go out there and wrestle hard, because what you have is you'll have a lot of guys at this tournament who want the year to be over. You know what I mean? And we can't be one of those guys. You know what I mean? Because a lot of kids go on spring break right after this, and including us. So it'd be easy to say, oh man, I just want to be done so I can go on spring break. But I think our guys' heads are in the right place right now. I think they have realized that this is they get 4 cracks at it if they're lucky to make it nationals. And some of our guys are down to their last one. So
now the way it works is it is a 16. It's up to an 18-man draw because there are 18 teams. There are actually 19 teams in the region, one of which is not going to be here because of their no-compete clause on Sundays at religious schools. So there's going to be 18 teams in a tournament. The largest bracket we could have would be 18. If you lose at any point in time, you're not out. You get to come back and try to, you have
double elimination,
another chance to come back and try to place third and everything and get into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, we had 2 kids that lost first round that came all the way back and placed. So I mean, it's so important. That's why large reason why we finished 10th last year in the region versus 15th or something.
Sure.
Because we had guys that I think we had 5 guys go 0-2.
Oh yeah.
So I think this year, I think we're way more balanced team, and the goal. I think our goal this year, is to place top 8 and to get 2 guys through. You've
got a much more veteran-laden team. You've got a couple freshmen that are in the lineup, but with all the guys that have been there before, not only are they prepared a little bit more, but they can maybe help prepare your freshmen, your first-year guys, into going into that tournament and everything. So
I think we have 3 freshmen starting. 3 freshmen, a bunch of 5 sophomores, I think, 2 juniors, and a kid that's technically, or I guess 1 junior and 1 guy that could be technically a senior.
Sure.
So, but we're still really young. So I think I'm already getting excited for next year. To be honest with you, and not looking past this year, but knowing that what we could have next year as well too is exciting.
Now you've got a bunch of guys that are going to be heading up on Saturday. We have the coaches meeting and everything on Saturday night. There's a dinner for the coaches as well. The wrestlers will be able to take the mats at about 5 o'clock Saturday afternoon. They can cut weight, roll around on the mats and everything. Everything closes down there at 9, and then the weigh-in, skin check, everything starts early in the morning on Sunday. Officials come rolling in. They'll meet with the coaches and everything. How big of a is it for you as a coach to deal with all that administration of a big tournament like this and still try to coach your team? I know you've got an assistant coach, Brandon Bradley, does a great job.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm lucky we got good people around us. You and all your staff, have been. I wouldn't be able to do this. I wouldn't want to do it on my own. Because my main job is to get my guys competing at a very high level.
Sure.
And go in there with a great mindset and not worry about all that, get distracted by all the other things. I think that's what affects us sometimes on when we have home matches. I'm running around trying to get people checked into their locker room with other teams and stuff. It kind of takes away from what I should be doing, which is taking care of my guys and making sure they're into it. Not even talking to the guys really, but just being around, being present, so we're all in this together, not running around. So I think I'm lucky. We get you guys do an awesome job, and help me out there. So.
Well, we've got some great people here at the college that really help us. Director of Athletics, Abe Knapp, very supportive. Vice President for Institutional Advancement, Kim Blair, super supportive of all our teams. We've just got some great people that are around the programs that help us out. All the athletic trainers, golly, I couldn't imagine us making life easier without those guys.
I've never been to a place. I've yet to be to a place where so many people have taken interest to this and want to help for no other reason than just to help. Which is. It's pretty cool, pretty cool. I'm not worried about it at all because I know we're gonna have enough support, enough help. It's gonna run very smooth. It's gonna impress a lot of coaches, I think. So.
There will be a lot of volunteers up there at the Civic Center that day. I'm sure we'll have plenty of help. We won't be looking for people, pulling people out of the bleachers or anything like that for help. So, Nate, let's talk a little bit about postseason. Once the season is done, I know you have a very, very advanced camp program, wrestling club program. Talk a little bit about that gearing up into the spring.
Well, we're still going to offer our three camps we had last year. Is the resident camp, which is all for juniors and seniors, or guys that are committed to Ferrum College. It's a little higher level. I mean, we open up to anybody, but most of those kids are the ones that come. It's 10 days long, very intense. We go over strength training, diets, mental training, all that stuff. So
a lot of the little extras with wrestling, other than the on-the-mat training.
Diet, yoga. We would do hot yoga workouts. Just to
your wife Leah runs that.
Yep. Just a phenomenal job. And so we talk about grades, goal setting. So it's everything, And I think the guys. I try to make all my incoming freshmen do it. Just so they kind of have an idea what to expect come fall, so they're prepared. So that's a great one. That's June 18th to the 26th.
But it's open to all juniors and seniors as well.
Juniors and seniors, and guys are going into college. They graduated. So Then the fundamentals camp, which is getting popular, more popular every year, is our technique camp. This year we're going to add a little more live wrestling to it, so it should be a good camp. And that's kind of usually a beginner camp, a little more kids that have been around for 1 or 2 years.
And these take place on campus here?
Right, in Schwartz Gym.
Schwartz Gym,
yep,
okay.
Yep.
I was in there last year. You had what looked like the equivalent of about 5 mats. And
right, yeah, exactly. Yep.
Wall-to-wall mats.
Yep, I don't know where we're going to put the rest of the mats this year, But that's June 19th to the 21st. And then we have the Gold Camp, which is our most popular camp. That's our high school intensive camp. We had a bunch of middle schoolers there last year, but we're going to actually change that up this year. The Gold Camp is from June 19th to the 25th. And then a couple new ones we're adding this year is the Protege Camp, which is it's a one-on-one camp. So basically, one instructor or one counselor per one kid.
Wow.
And they're going to eat dinner with them. They're going to eat lunch with them. They're going to train with them. They're going to drill with them. They're going to run with them.
That's great.
Yeah, exactly. Just to basically show a kid what it takes to be really successful at this level. So, and the kid gets to actually pick out his counselor who he wants.
Where can people find information about the camps? I know you've got the flyers and everything.
Right, yep,
you can find these. These have been at all kinds of different wrestling terms. So where can they sign up for your camp?
PantherWrestlingCamps.com. Okay. Or they could just call me. Be honest with you, call me or email me. It's right on the Ferrum.edu website. It's just Yetzer at Ferrum.edu.
Okay.
And then the last camp we're at is the Black Camp, which is going to be a youth and middle school intensive camp.
Okay.
So that's our brand new one this year too, and I think that'll be a pretty successful one as well too. So,
do you have a goal as to how many you'd like to have at that camp?
We actually cut our numbers off very small. I mean, the resident camp, I think we cut it off at 25. The protege camp, we actually cut off at 10. Mm-hmm. And then the black camp, I think we're going to cut it off at 50, and then the gold camp cut it off around 40 or 50.
Okay. So. Great.
Very intimate camps, and then we also run those state champ boot camps all over the state, all over the country.
And you've done those all over. I've seen those all over the country.
We've been to South Dakota, Austin, Texas, Fresno. This year we went out to Denver, Colorado.
Weren't you in California at one point in time a couple of years ago?
Yep. That was a good one. That was a good one. Yeah, so we had 100-something kids. That was our biggest one we've ever had.
Really?
So, yep.
Wow. So, well, listen, I want to wish you well with the camps, but more importantly, I want to wish you well this Sunday. So, folks, the NCAA Division III East Regional, Ferrum College is hosting it on Sunday, March 1st. The doors open at 8 o'clock. Wrestling starts at 9. This is an NCAA qualifier. Top 3 get to go to the NCAA tournament, and Ferrum is hosting it, and we're hoping to push through some of our kids.
Right.
Coach, I want to wish you luck, and folks, we'll be back here next week. We will be hosting the show. Dave Newcomb will be back on, and we will have Rod Baker, our men's and women's tennis coach, and he'll tell us about his season, how things are going. Until next week, I'm your host, Gary Holden. Thanks for being with us, and have a great day.